Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, and everyone.
Thank you.
The witness is being brought from the witness room. Thank you.
Shall we continue, Council?
Yeah,
Please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Madam Witness. I hope you had a good break.
Yes, I rested a bit.
During the last session, you started telling us about your arrival in Kanilai. As part of the 4th batch of the Presidential Alternative Treatment Program. And you were explaining how this medicine was being given to you. Before we ended, you had just started telling us about your first encounter with the ex-president, Yaya Jammeh. And you had started to describe the intrusive massages that women were being given during this treatment. We have another video which we just wanted to show you. It is not part of your batch, but it shows the massage technique that was being used by the former president. We want to show it to you so that you can identify whether this is the way and manner in which you were being massaged by the former president. This video is actually part of Exhibit 146C, Mr. Chairman. And it has already been tendered, but we just want the witness to identify the massage technique. Again, we would like to warn all of the cameramen here within the commission not to televise either the audio or the pictures of the video. This is because we have received information that the video audio was being heard by audiences, so we want to warn you strictly. This is because the persons on these videos one, their identity is protected. To avoid re-stigmatization. So we must take this very seriously. Thank you very much. Madam Technician, can you please play the video for us? women being stripped naked. And being massaged all over their bodies, including their breasts and buttocks and everywhere.
And nyaburo feta isundio luma ibalajato anin imario lukomo luke abre nyabu.
Is that what happened to you?
My own was worse.
Can you tell us how it was worse? Because we cannot imagine how it can get any worse than this.
Saying afonyi munene ikoyete tale jawyata katu nga menjete umuku jawolti sila munesi na ke menjawyata nyinti.
Alumte ntengamira keo meyano kama nkera mtote afunjo ilibulo manyana tala fa apata kunto takantuma fa duma.
Because for a woman, a man who is not your husband, your hands shouldn't reach the woman's breasts, much more to the navel, and much more below the navel to the private parts.
Thank you very much for that explanation. We also saw the liquid that was being given to the women to actually wash their face in, and you were saying that this liquid basically would burn your eyes.
Na jole fanang eka bori fason mem bori jio men eka mu imari nyada ni kunu ila andu yenyum foko bori jio fong tumudu nabula te nyakono aka fatiyale ke inya jani.
Was that the same thing you were being given, as shown in the video?
Bori fason kilimu ko ya mu nyimolu la nyame video kono ya kete fanambala wole nyama bang.
Ha abe wole nyama.
Yes. It was the same process.
Have you finished describing the massage to us, or is there anything else you would like to say before we move on to the next step?
Nyaburo nying fo kututa koma le lefta mem fanan futan dilam mabang fodun nyaburo nying ya adanda me amunta adanta woleto.
Nyaburo nya manyinya de mtokai. Tema minene ma mira ko wande muso itinata jalaro la jalaro amanyana niata la nyaburo la nyante kala muso la nyanta muso nyabula wonti sifala bala manke kewti.
The massaging was not pleasant because I believe someone else's wife, if at all in the process of the cure massaging was to take place, it should have been women carrying it out on women.
And was this something that every woman on the program actually experienced?
Amunta ite afote nyame musolu men beta ta jaro rola amunta ul fanal dunta te ko ken wala kono.
Nteta ngawole yaro ni ye nyabu foka ba iteka funtile do fana ina.
It's my own that I have seen. You know, after you are massaged, you leave and another person comes in.
So tell us what happens after the massage.
Ay afonye ni nyaburo keta fabanta mu ko koten kana bula unoma.
You now take the medicine.
In 20-liter bidon, kana wala yelama.
They will empty the 20-liter gallon.
Yadi la yami.
They'll give you to drink. Someone else will come in, go inside. They'll ask you to go outside, dry up yourself, and then come back and dress up.
What were you being given to drink at this point?
On
the first day, we were given gine, which was reddish in color. That was what we drank.
Can you give us a further description of this gine, and why is it called gine?
Gine afonye amulung fong benyadi la benyadi le muna animunana ikafai gine.
For some people, when they drink it, they become intoxicated. Others also want to vomit.
And what was the consistency of the drink? Was it thick or light?
Andu aboro nying adanya benyadila aboro be duturine bang fodun a jiyatale a featale.
Atututa domandinde.
It's a little bit thick.
Ni aje ba fula boko hane tara sanjinani dio menke hane dio yalo ni ya boro ni ya ka boto ya toron sanji fula o karworo ni ya yele dio yinkal noro mengo so sakandu mo boro.
It looked like water that has been kept in a container for 4 years. It's like when you put water in a bottle for 6 months. The way it used to get murky is the same way that this water looked like.
So this was a portion that had been fermented.
Amunta nyi ya dedale foya amunta fennam ya mem kumundi.
Asero mandia.
Yes, and the taste was not pleasant.
And the smell.
The smell, sorry.
Was it the taste and the smell or just the smell?
Anoro ning niake da Kenya mim fo noro da manne mambetea.
Asero fana mandia yalo equally keje foko ni tambita.
Both the taste and the smell are bad because it has been salt has been added to it to a high level, so it was very, very salty.
And can you tell us why you were being given this particular medication called Gine?
Saying afonye mwana kanyim bori fasongo diala ka afonye boro me Gine.
I do not know because I found people drinking it. That it used to cure the sickness.
And this was quite different from the first medication that you had received the previous day from Ansumana Jam, is that correct?
Jine anu borido fatata ya mem di follow dialla Ansumana Jam men dialla nga fatatale.
Fatatale wodo boko jiodoro.
They were different. The first one looked like ordinary water.
Thank you very much. We already have that information. So what happened after you took the Gine medication?
Numbara ngao kibaro soto ne sa mbrieni Gine boro min mune natake. Did
it have any effect on you when you drank it?
Brite ya min aye ijato kono aye kenya dile.
Mbalo be mamandile.
It shook my entire body. I had the sensation of vomiting, but I could not vomit. I was in that state till daybreak.
So that was the last medication you received on that day?
Yes.
So you had to go back to your quarters at Jamekunda?
Amunta bitu birial yo minang alnata muru alijia dia dulato ya alijia ndi dami Jamekunda.
Yes, we used to be returned back there.
What about the others that were with you? Did it have any particular effect on them?
Sai itali modulo ya wairi albele boro min dolu ila korosirota ayolu Kenya dile.
Momo ni amin dolbije ika inyaka menine.
For some, they used to have blood vision. Some used to vomit.
So what happened the next day?
The next day too, we went to the same place. He called us and we lined up.
Who called you?
Jumali al-Kumandi.
It's Auntie Nima and the others who used to call people for massage and for other things.
So you went through the same process as the day before?
Amunta ye al-Kenya mi lumfolola. Lumfolanja unyimfana wukukili leketa labang.
Yes, we went there and we were massaged.
Can you tell us if you received any other kind of medication apart from the first two you've mentioned?
And
tell us at what point you received those medications.
Today, when you are given one medicine, the next day you'll be given a different one.
Tell us those different medications you were given subsequently.
The second medicine that we drank,
Ni fenko ni 20 liter ni ya yele jan jambe ka sunkane.
When they empty the 20 liter, the whole place has an odor.
Boko ni mano kudoro man jio ni ya ku yake dulato jio ni be wale nyama.
Just like when you wash rice, the color of the water, that's the way that medicine looked like.
Kankane.
It was dusty.
Kawale ke fokato kopo ifa.
That's what they used to put for you, a whole cup.
Ya for ya mi.
They'll ask you to drink it.
Do you know what that medication was called?
Yo boro fanan tolo ne bang.
Wala omoti.
That is the umu.
And what particular effect did that omo have on you, and why was it called omo?
Wo boro me ya min onya biri ya min ayeke nya di le jato kono ani muna ne ka fay omo.
O boto ami ngomandi ahendo mandi.
Drinking that medicine was not easy.
Ya min jani be pare la. Jiso ikala di demandi min do ikala la fono la.
When you drink even a little bit of it, you almost want to vomit.
Do bi jani kame ike nole muta fo ya min no.
For others, when they are drinking it, they used to hold their noses to help them to drink it. If you drink it before day breaks, you will experience diarrhea.
And what was the diarrhea like that you would experience?
You have diarrhea just as per what you drank. When he comes, he'll ask you, how was the medication like with you yesterday? Many people inform them that they had diarrhea. He said if you have diarrhea in the local language, which is running stomach, they too should run after it.
And who are you referring to here? Who is joking about such a serious issue?
Yaya Jammeh was the one making such statement. He used to ask us the effect of the body, the medicine on our bodies. He said it was a sickness which was leaving the body in that manner.
So basically the diarrhea was carrying the sickness out of your body.
That was the way he saw it.
And was he laughing about this particular predicament that you had diarrhea caused by his medication?
That's
the way he saw it. The fact that he's saying that if your stomach, if you experience running stomach, you too should run after it.
So that was something he thought was funny.
That was it, because he never drank it.
And we've also received evidence to say that the omo, when it's out of you in the form of diarrhea, actually looks like omo.
Andu nyimboro meka fai omo. Ya foko fanang ama moya amina abote bala jatu kono ni ajibe akakele ko omo benyami.
So which means that your feces are sort of frothy.
Amunda omarila kenetota akakele ko kankango.
That was the way it was.
And how severe was the diarrhea that it caused?
Andu sila ka konobayo menke mola konobayo la jawya ka kenyadile.
It used to weaken them.
If
it takes a while, some die.
And can you tell us what the particular effect of diarrhea is on an HIV patient?
sayang afonye momen ya lonko HIV jankar kesolu bala ni o mari nata kono bayo soto ela mirota ba mari kala nyaadile
foke mari da hande juna do e fa e da
It will just ease your pain earlier so that you die and relax for once.
So you're saying that it had the effect of killing you. Is that what you're trying to say?
amunta be nyine katakan ka foko fenna me ya lonko ka dolu fale ye ye da fe
Because you'd be rendered so weak by the medication that you would basically die.
amunta wala mindi ko ne ami wa natake kono bay fasonoti amunta wala ka dolu fa wala ka do la sayati
That is it.
The other medications you explained that also made you vomit, was that the same effect that it would have?
amunta e bor dol men fonon fu men ka molu fonondi amunta o franka aka molu ke wala nyama bang
omo yin dol bi de ni yami ka fono ba dol bi de fono le ka bay
The omo, for some, when they drink it, they used to vomit. Others, they used to have diarrhea.
ni fono ta fono le betata ba ni kono e bay mo jama belal nu je kani fin loptano to wal hani bu ko funtino fa
It is better that you vomited. But if you had diarrhea, in fact, there were some people who were at the hospital in Kanifing. They never ventured outside.
Why is that?
mina na buga fintino
wal saya kani e balo be lam fundile
Because the disease weakened their body.
And what other kinds of medication did you receive, apart from the omo and the gine?
nyin omoni nyin jene kola fo bordo fanan bije lale yemem mimbal
ka do fanan da dale kamen fu Chakri
There is another one they prepared called Chakri.
Is it like the chakri that we would normally have, the nice dessert?
fo o aninyin chakri muliyata le kanyin chakri mendada nono late molu kame min
no aka no ke je ka to aka pick minute la sanga ya ke ba no amanke Chakri te
There was milk because you used to add the pulp milk there, but it was not
sawani
it was not Chakri.
ato aboko sodo so nka fa sodo so la nka to pour ka do mo ka ke data fang ni yami ka ke ko yimbe min ne foka bam men tuta ya fo wo fana be wo fana to mo la wo fana beta kono ko
I used to call it sawdust because after drinking the water content of it, the dregs that were left, you were asked to chew it.
And it tasted like sawdust, is that what you're saying?
amunta niya akeda kono amunta la kakele ko babara mun ko ka fo me sawdust
aka ke wala nyamande
It was like that.
Do you know where this sawdust-like thing actually originated from? Did it come from any particular plant or tree?
men katu wo chakri boro nyin duma membe ko babara mun ko ka fo me sawdust fo yalon ne e kaw bondi min tole
ntenga mi mankana solo mankana dingo ya longo adion ko ta dumale ka wala ta ya tu ya ke fenkot aka ke wala nyama aka wo tero le toto
It looks like a plant called mankanas in Mandinka. It is a plant which grows in the bushes and it has fruit, small round fruits. She said she thinks that those are the things that they pound when it becomes powdery. When it becomes powder, that's what they use for these chakri.
Yeah, it's tuber-like.
abe duma la aboko nyambo aka wara duma ka sinne
It's in the ground, looks like a cassava tuber.
Its roots.
And are those edible plants?
Ako fo molu ka wo yiro fanan do mole bang.
ntene ni mango jere
I have never seen that.
Are you saying you've never seen them being eaten apart from Yaya Jammeh using them on his treatment?
Aka memfo wala nyindi ko inene maje mulu ba domola na manke ko Yaya Jammeh la o jararo nyin kono.
ntel adingol tel ka do mo na mota te ay wule dinil ka do mo le bari ka ke sodo ka ke Chakri tel nene ma woje
The fruit, when it was ripened, as children, we used to eat it. But I have never seen the tuber being put in that concoction as in the Chakri.
So what was the effect of the chakri on you after you ingested it?
Sa imbiro chakri boro fana min anate kenya dile bala jato kenya dile.
oh bo mi da do mo ko be nyamenten dol bi je ni yow min Ake kono kono aka ku jamale tinye ile kono kono.
Just think about it the way it was. For some people, when they drink it, it used to have a lot of effects in their stomach.
Ko ka ku mu fa mu problem wala de.
Even to swallow it is a problem.
Why was it a problem to swallow it?
Muna ka kunu ngokole andi.
Sodo monoba.
Can anyone eat sawdust?
So it was very dry.
Amunta ka jale ni hadamadi mukankono.
Kajale.
Yes, it's dry.
Apart from these medications that you have mentioned for treatment of HIV in the alternative treatment program, was there any other medication you were given during that time for any other purpose?
Namanke nyimboro lumenu foteng. Atelawo jara rokono fo borudo fanan sotontale e kamen dialla ala nyin jara rokono me yalon ko ni nyim borudo lu fatatale menu foteng.
Waktu mele motare family ta folum kilinde.
When we were there for a long time, there was a day.
Alam buri mol bota sere kombo jam molta ta kanelai. Jani mol sayana.
You know, when we left Kombo to Kanelai, before our return,
Kini fana e boro e kami musutore bi sahara lopital to jefo.
there was one particular woman who got very ill at the hospital.
Molta ta bori mi wala.
We went to drink our medicine.
Ya jami ya jibe ako ko ayol jibe mu fulalon dal ako ate sa ate menje.
There were two individuals, in fact. Yaya Jammeh looked at them and said that what he has seen, he said that I am doing my work and people are here who are destroying my work. Because they were very sick, the sickness actually weakened them. He said, the ordinary meat is not enough for you. Now you have decided to feast on the people that are here for treatment. One soldier came. They called him Tambajiro. He called us all. We are the women we are hosted. They took us into a big room. They took it and put inside a bucket. They put water there. Each one with your cup. They will scoop a cup and give it to you. And they will ask you to drink. When you are done, those who were not very strong, whose heads were not strong, they will sit only for a short while and then they start falling down. All of us that were there, all of us were drunk. They pulled down the curtains and they took a herb. He brought 3 stoves and put burning coal on them. And he put the herb into the fire. He locked the door. And he left us there. Some were there, they only resisted for a short while and then they fell. Well, you know, people are stronger than one another. Those who fell were the ones he came and picked up. that those were witches.
Thank you very much, Madam Witness. I would just like to ask you some follow-up questions. You had initially said that Yaya Jammeh basically had accused certain people within your group as witches and that they were trying to sabotage his AIDS treatment. Is that correct?
Yenyum foko ya jamme yenyum foko atebe o jararo menna modolu soton tale menu laftala o jararo tinyala andu menu be o manyake kan wollem bualuti wolle laftata la jararo tinyala fo wollem ba.
That is true.
He then gave you a substance which you were to drink. Can you identify what that substance is, if you know?
Utumola yenyum foko inata o sijulo nati men jioke men kono kam kalimindi yala fo yalo ne alimindi munela wonya.
Yes, I know it.
What is it?
Munefemu.
Yone madam but bring a mint after being finger I ko walang kube jarot.
I didn't know it, but after I drank and had that experience, I was later told it was Kube Jaro.
And what is Kube Jaro?
Munem Kube Jaro ti.
Yeah, a jambolong.
It's a leaf which grows during the rainy season. There are some thorns on it.
I
used to hear that in the olden days they used to add a little bit of it in attire and serve to young girls. And that when you drank it, you will go into a coma, and therefore they will do whatever they wanted to do with you. That is how I got to know that was Kubejaro.
So it was a sort of traditional date drug.
Amunta fenna moti me yalonko kom moli yalon ne konna ada silola fenna me yalonko mim fengolong.
Jambolong abijam amantala bankoro de abuka bamaja.
It's a leaf. It's around very common.
Was it an intoxicant?
Fenna menka molusira.
Yes, it intoxicates people.
Is the effect that you were trying to explain? When they drank it, people started to get unconscious.
Amunta wala mnyindi ko nimoli amin wala ka molusira ndi wonya.
Yes.
And apart from drinking it, you said that the leaves were also burnt and that you had to inhale the smoke.
Amunta amahana manke ammingo dammanti. Ikawole jambo ke dimbato nya bannia sisindi menka dum molula.
Ador bije fang kaman dor bije ka ke hani ni nyamo fang dor bije ka ke jere. Nyamo ideni ba foka nyamo sabala ka ke jere ina nyamo ko.
I hear that even the young men who smoke the cannabis will add parts of it into the cannabis when they smoke.
And for the particular purposes of Yaya Jammeh, then he was trying to identify these witches within you who were trying to kill other participants in the program. Is that correct?
Amunta ko Yaya Jammeh afunyamin atebe jara ro menna wonya bitun akomenu bala jara ro tinyakan amunta wo molle mu molu tibualu menu lafta alawo molu fala abe menu jara kan.
This is what he claimed.
Amunta atela kuma kan to ayewolefo.
Ayewolefo.
That was what he said.
And according to his own claims, can you tell us whether he was able to identify any purported witches or wizards amongst you?
Kate fangala kumakamoto aya afonyami silandung atenata mulu soto ne meni alonko wallemu bualti bang kaya afonyami.
Meni alonko boitale.
Yes, those that fell.
And can you confirm whether those names are on the protected information sheet that you have before you?
Silang kaito membe nyatilu la je wo kullo kaito mulu tolo be safari membala. Memu boita onya fo mulu be kono le menu tobe o kaito bala.
As well as the victim of this purported witchcraft activity.
Ani meni alonko ayetu miko lumu bual leti. So fo ul fanal to bijele. Kaito nyimbala ajibeba kana tumo to fode.
Earlier on, we had written down the names of these people on the protected information sheet. Can you just confirm that that is the case?
Komantonu molu dolu to safele wokullo kaito bala alaftole ya alaftayo jube ka tonya and photo nyala wo molle.
We don't want you to mention the names.
Akoy kana motofo ijube doro.
Mokolonto ha.
9 individuals, yes. Both men and women.
Thank you very much.
And
you had said that the whole reason why this witchcraft treatment came about was because a particular individual who you said is on the protected information sheet became very ill, and that's why Yaya Jammeh accused some of you as being witches and wizards.
Amunta womolu mene alonko ena tajara rola je menu funali nata sasaje hanfo iko sasaye batandi baba bake bitu wo dalilo le nata kendi ako mo batel konole mene alonko lumu bualeti wolle laftani modolu domola mene alonko abe jara kante je wonya mene alonko tobe kullo kayto bala
ko wolle laftara doko tinyala.
Yes, that was what he said. He said they were the ones who wanted to sabotage his work.
And as far as you knew, what was responsible for this woman's health problems?
Saying itela mira roto ila cross roto nyimmolu menu sasa ta tewonya fo sasa ye batandi ila mira roto munewolu batandi wonya.
It was the medicine that they drank.
Any borrowing and any borrowing more coming, Loptan, Yajamela treatment, body full of Becau, Kafunga, I didn't Kura, I don't borrow better Kunola Hadamadu.
It's the mixing of the conventional medicine and also the one that Yajama was given. That was what was making it very unbearable for the system to cope with.
Can you tell us whether or not you were still on your conventional medicine when you came to take the traditional medicine, the alternative treatment?
First thing fono dol suron dal men yalon ko yatara ibe lopitano boro fana min kan wato men ibe ya jamela boro lu min ka wonya ke ka funyoma ke be min nyola fo be usoton talal kono je
ani to man to wato men tenga men long dol bi je janni be duna 3 minuto.
That was not the case, but those that I was aware of before they went for the treatment,
atara itata fo ARV.
They were already on ARV. So when they started taking these herbs and they stopped taking the conventional medicine, that led to the death of some.
The information we have is that anybody who attended the program was told to stop their conventional medicine, i.e. the ARVs or Septrin or whatever you may be taking, and just to concentrate on the traditional medicine.
Nyin kibaro soto janne ko atela nyin jararo mo mondi ndunta kono ikafoyne ikana tubabu boro min wala kata ARV tiban Septrin tiban femfen nin tubabu boro lem ikafoy mari ne yow belandi karala ikano ma kotake yetente ngatela boro la fo abew nyale ba
abew nyama hani paracetamol bukami fa.
That was what existed. Even paracetamol you never drank.
So what you are saying is that the reason why this particular individual and others were ill was not because anybody was sabotaging the traditional treatment, but it was because they had stopped their conventional medicines and they were taking this traditional medicine, which was not effective.
Amunte la kumo koto mnyindi ko ayolu bali tubabu boro lu minna idalta me minna nun kotoke biring yo boro tubabu boro lu bula iduntate la boro lu to ado atela boro lu mona femfen jara nyimmo lu bala wole nata ke wolaw bata jawoti wonya atenata wole jube ako bualle batela jararo wolle laftate la jararo tinyala fo ila miraro tata wole nyam
keta wole nyam.
That was what it was.
So indeed, it wasn't witches and wizards that were sabotaging Yaya Jammeh's treatment, but he himself was his own saboteur.
Amunta amanke ko bualle ba atela jara rotinya kan amunta ate fangla kolu Kenya wole musababoti menketa ala do ko nyintinya de wole keta ala nyin do ko la sai ko moti.
That's it.
What happened to these purported witches and wizards that were accused of eating those other people who were ill?
Sila teol mulu munu tumbo nya kolu mubualeti mune nata ke wala kato ayo le tumi ko wala lafta modolu do lata be men jara kan sai wala ko nata la nyaadile
Nata wol bayle.
He drove them out.
Dob je lata je fu sa je fo.
Some felt so
Mo ke to poto fa.
sick there, they had no one to attend to them.
Okay jibe.
No one visited them
La badi on nata kama.
until their relatives had to come and take them away.
Mo jama bo je fatale.
Many other people died.
So you're saying that because these people had been branded witches and wizards, they were basically isolated and neglected as a form of punishment, and they suffered until they died?
amonta yino foko umolu menate chodi ko mu bualleti silanga nata nya kasi wolula ye filije wonya ibuke topoto ibuka femfem keye amonta wala nata ke dolu labata tambirimuti han fo dolu fata wala kono
Aketa wala jama.
That's it.
Did you expect when you had come to the presidential treatment that you would be subjected to some form of witchcraft hunting activities?
fo wato men atel bina jara rolla fo aleni mirala ko ni nyon ku faso be kelali la jele men sinake ni mbuano masata koti alla jara ro wuce okono fo aliyo mirala nun janni ngal be dum jara ro nyin kono ba
No one thought of that.
What was the effect of this particular treatment on you?
sai yo manya men ke wonya nyin jara ro wuce nyin kono
Having to drink and also inhale the kube jaro.
birin aliyo jio min anin fanan ayo jambolu men ke dimba kono wo sisio ka molu sisindi wala nyin kufulo kafuru nyoma ay mun ke dolula
Ay mo jamal bije hani imam fa bari yela jata kende amrundu ko kende ka.
Many people are there who did not die, but whose health condition deteriorated a lot after that.
And what kind of symptoms did they show, or what kind of illnesses did they have?
sai wulu mun taman seri fason no findite bala walla ila sasa nyin anata la nyaadile
Dol bije yalon asmatiyol.
There are some who were asthma patients.
Dol bije ila nyaka dibile.
Some also had blood vision.
Yalo ko nya hani aka jero ke no fo sai ate ila janta jero ndite nya sai nun ton ka nyaka fenke ke bage bar sai hani benda tu dala benda ba ta sori nola nga ndejul boro ke no laje.
Before I could see clearly, but as of now, I cannot even put a string into the hole of the $2 needle.
Are you saying that the alternative treatment is responsible for your blood vision?
amunda sang ila nyakuya wo bori min aniyo sisio men aldunta kono wala kata sababu te me nyakuya sabu itema
To see all of no carton te wato men be duna gente am problem so don balot ani fenkini am problem ani killing.
That is what I can say, because before I went there, I had no problem at all on my body.
You also mentioned in your statement that some people were paralyzed.
yenyen foila kuma kan safari mfananko dolu bijele amunta ulu lamfutale isu folu lamfuta
Ah, u fanan kita de.
Yes.
Ila bali na de kam isaita bali u fanan bantale.
That happened, that some of them had to be taken home by the relatives, but some of them died.
But tell us how they came to be paralyzed. Were they paralyzed before they came for the treatment, or was it after they started the treatment that they were paralyzed?
sai nying sufo la lamfo ka paralyze wo male nata je bang fo biri nying jararo biri dun tatela jararo kono lem woketela
Ate men ka diamute akata mo nyame wol fanan tamata wala nyama fo je.
The one speaking now, the way the person works is how they worked on their own and got there.
So what caused their paralysis then, subsequently, when they went to Kanilai?
amdu silam biri tata kanilai munina ta ke sababu te hanfo paralyzed ila sufo lu lamfuta
Ala bidi mo bota kanela mo saita na jang keta si nyafula de mo ya dira je mo saita na jang falang state house na e boro the same ball killing and dira falang si nyafula mo ba dira man ke si nyakiri tete.
The drinking of the medicine was on 2 occasions, not once. Because when we left Kanilai and returned back to the Combo, there was another session at the State House.
My question was, what was responsible for the paralysis, in your view?
Amunta itela jeroto kumune yakende hanfo umulu lamfuta itela jeroto hanfo paralyzed tawnya ila miroto muna yosab
Ni boro ni ayani yalo ni sasa.
Well,
I'm paralyzed. Sare itamanta to ba boro min kan nim bon fim boro doro.
well, it's the medicine. This sickness paralyzes people, and you are not taking conventional medicine.
So apart from your health complications of being an HIV patient, you actually developed other complications from taking this medicine.
Amunta sasa tolu menketela wala mintiko HIV jankar keso bela babri nyim bori façon lu mingo damuta menketa tela nyim boro luti kurandolu nata finti kotake meyo mulu muta ke batandi hanfo dolu paralyzed wala ko
Keta wole nyam.
Yes, that was the way it was.
So your conditions in fact worsened.
Amunta sila Allah sasa fanga nata jawya kule.
Keta wole nyam.
That's it.
Were you cured by any of the medicine that Yaya Jammeh gave you for the AIDS treatment?
Silang ya jamme kataka AIDS boro lu menu di fo atel soton mo soton tali konele men yalon to nya inata kende yale ba
Ntede man kende mol ka fole don bari hani mo kini man kende mol ra fole ikende ata pour mo isai.
Well, I have not been cured. People only make that statement. People will say that they are cured just in a bid to have the opportunity of going home.
And we will come to that later. But I also wanted to ask you, on your statement, you said that the effect of the drugs, the effect of having diarrhea, was so profuse that some of you were actually bleeding seriously. Can you confirm that statement and tell us how come?
Mbina utole nyatundo. Bari nyimbori mingu amunta ayo kono bayi jawo di molu menula. Yenyim fo ela kumakamoto kufang anata dolu batani le hanfo anata futa tembo to yelo kabo ikono me ya lonka keta dolu ya bata bate fo fanan sotontale.
That is true.
Yes, that's true. Some even suffered from stomach pains, which, you know, really gave them serious problems.
So there was something in these medicines that was damaging their organs internally, making them bleed.
Amunta femni mboro kono femulu bije meni alonko aye ila kono femulu tinyale hanfo ayasabu ika yelo bondi balajato kono.
Yes.
And you have also said that those patients who developed serious complications were either abandoned, neglected, or driven away from the program, or their relatives were being asked to come and collect them.
Amunta yimfoko sasa menu batandije kende ke hanfo ikorita amunta labangola nya kasi wululale aye filije wonyamo buketo boto hanfo labango munena nata ke wuludolu badingol le wulitanan kane kamaje ke sayindi.
That's it.
So Yaya Jammeh was not able to find a remedy for those situations.
Amunta ya manna borino sotonno pour ka molu bondi wo mantoro kono memboyte kanje.
Ya Jammeh bukadunje jewo ansudon kanaje bar kan fin kai. Ya Jammeh akamul batu state house le mo kata je da don kata boro me ban ni mantaje.
Yeah, never.
Na mo visit Kanifing.
Yeah, I never went there. It was only Ansumana. But in Kanifing, it was at the state house where he used to wait for us.
What I'm saying is that those people that had serious conditions, Yaya Jammeh's treatment was not able to cure them.
Amunda ala kumoko to munyinta babe nyini kaka wala mnyinti ko molu menu batata wo sasa nate ibatandi je foi korita Yaya la boro man kuno wulu makota ka mejara.
Yes.
Can you estimate the number of people that died on the treatment?
For itela miroto ila hakil toto isa fono le mojel le fata alaw jararo kono ite bijetu momen.
The time I was there, 9 people died.
And you have provided the names of those people on the protected information sheet, is that correct?
Amunta yo mol fonalu safele wo mo kononto wo kullo kaito bala fo akata wollembal.
Yes.
And can you just tell us again what was responsible for their deaths?
Andum foisa fonyen kotake wo molu ila saya itela jero to mune ya sabu.
It was the medicine they drank.
So in fact, Yaya Jammeh didn't take you to Kanilai to cure you, but to kill you.
Amunta mosafo no ko ya jamme mali samba Kanilai pour katali jarade. Ayali samba Kanilai jina kam pour katam mulu faje.
Namira volonté.
Well, that's the way I see things.
Ngata kunkoto.
When we used to go to the farms,
Ngata mantutola.
we go to plant rice.
Can we just take that again? Are you saying, what are you trying to say?
Akungo muruwo kambang iba kata kampur kamune foteng.
Sa Kanilai mani tutuo.
We used to go to Kanilai to plant rice.
Ani mani nyo tia seno.
We also
Go to the groundnut
gone
farms.
farm.
Atinya fulale molta da Kanilai.
We went to Kanilai twice.
Mr. Chairman, sorry, Madam Witness. Can we just take maybe a 1-minute break for the witness to maybe drink some water? She looks like she's a bit exhausted. Just a little break, for her to recuperate.
Munta sebe mbe miniti danta daha tala puru abako ilafta bata mununa le fo puru isi jiota yemi mensi ila kulu sono ya nidomandi.
Welcome back, Madam Witness.
Ibisimila kotake sedo.
Are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
If at any point you would like to take a break, just let us know, okay?
Yes.
You had started talking to us about being made to do certain activities whilst you were at Kanilai. Can you elaborate on that?
Ya da mutale ka fonyeng ikalibula ko dolu menu la Kanilai ka kulu dolu kije. Laftale yewlu seneyandi nyabang. Yes, she's ready.
Please go ahead and tell us.
Saying tenteng wairi atele yake afonyeng mulle multi.
Kanilai data mena yala mota to nje 1st August ma fam.
First, we went there in August.
Yani December fana.
And in December too.
What I mean, I mentioned more than telephone.
At the time when the crops were ripe, we returned there. Some would go to cut the wonjo, which is the sorrel.
You're referring to participants of the program who had gone to actually get treatment from Yaya Jammeh. They would be made to work in the fields.
Amunta molu meni alonko itata je nyine kama purkata jara rola je. Amunta kawolle samba balingo wonya pureta du kola.
Those are the ones who would go. Some went to pick up cashews. Sometimes the planting of rice and groundnut. And the sorrel too, the wenjo, when it's brought, we are the ones who used to peel it off. We did all of those there.
So as patients who were admitted for medical treatment, you were being used for manual labor. Is that what you're saying?
Amunta molu menu nataje isasa to purkane ijara je. Barisila inatalu telbula sembela du ko laje.
Del ka do ko kele di hani kanela jang kani fim fay kulo anen kuda bede nati ni mole jenu labaw ni mol ka ñoo ko ci.
We used to work even while we were in canifing here. We used to pound.
We
pound couscous and we prepared the couscous. We also peeled groundnut.
State House molka dula dobi je molka ta je bana molka ta ñoo feola je birin samanda mol tara je for 5 mole boromi.
Even at the State House, there's a particular place where we used to go and winnow coos, and we used to stay there until our time reaches for us to go and take our medicine. So the women will winnow, and the men will put the coos into the sacks and tie them up. We did all of that there. All of us who went for the treatment. Personally, I used to have problems there, time to time. Because sometimes when they asked me to work, I used to refuse. So they will tell me, if Yaya Jammeh releases you, no one will take you to come here to work. I said, I am not interested in the work. I did not come here for work. I came here to be treated.
And did you consent or did you volunteer? I mean, well, that's very obvious through your answer, but what about the others?
Nying akenyi ngamina ko fo nyimdo ko adiate famole barabito ko seneyata ko kulo memmandia ite fangoy bari dolu dum ni menu be nyokanje fo ila miraro to adiata ul fanale na ba
o ngamira idata alonte wato sita fo lunkile nyona den te ngana nyota ko mbakela ngake mayne sidio kay ko alanta de na ngasa ma masongoto.
I think they probably are used to it, because there was this day that they gave me my share of the course, and I put it in a bucket of the one containing the mayonnaise, and I wanted to take it to the machine to be pounded. So they asked me, are you better than the rest of us? We are using our hands to pound.
Even though there was a machine readily available, you had to do the manual work.
Hanna masiwo be kerinje num bitun silanga munta alka do ko nyin kali sembole la
ko nyoko chenka tu nga sama nga futo tabije.
We will wet the couscous, pound it, and we cooked the couscous from it.
Can you tell us initially whether or not you had made any payment for this program? Did you pay to get treated by Yaya Jammeh?
Fodum fanan Allah ni jara ro ali fenne jo ban ka jo pour Yaya Jammeh ali jara.
Tel man fen joje bari dolbi je wolka nanu jele tel ka watam ni mota da min bodu mi wala je mon ka bitman dolbi je wolka na je ali ne pajero wolka na bodu mi wala.
We did not pay anything, but when we were there, we used to see some big men who will drive in their Pajeros, who also came in to take the medicine.
So the medication was supposed to be free, but it really wasn't free, right? Because you actually had to pay for it through your labor.
Amunda boro nyin alimanya na fenjo la kunna bari ni ajube karado fanana woto aliye joro leke kato aliyo do kolu men kenyonya aliyal sembole boy pour ka do kolu ke.
That's what I think.
And did you do any activities in relation to the security forces that were guarding you?
Fodum fali kudo le fanalo tamandi kantarla la karola wala kata sojarolti meni alonko ibali kanta kanje fali se kuta mandi bensi ke wulu fanali mako irtibang
awol mako fo wol kantel mako
ani fali do kule kije men se ke kuti albe men ke kan wuliye wairi wollem security ulti menu bali kunnaje
wol sirin jere don tel kata bi do gem fay tel bu ka wol mako hani fen wol kay.
We did not assist them in any way. They were stationed there just like that, and we did our own cooking for ourselves.
So you didn't have to wait on them or anything or wash their clothes?
Wato alimam femfen ke ka misali kama ke la feto foto luku wala ka duku ke ye wonya alimam femfen ke woli.
No. Which one, when your clothes are dirty, you will wash them for yourselves.
Thank you very much. But in terms of the difference between a normal hospital, when you're admitted, you would be lying on your hospital bed, receiving treatment until the end. But this was not the case. You were only lying on those beds at night.
Amunta jararol la fatam fanso ning l'hôpital lom ni landije e katara lari la lara mo le kandron ibuka kuke bari munta admin jaral do al tata men na teng amunta woto al kela la lara mo kan suto drone munta tilbulo mo buka la nyasoto no
ni la kene momo ni ata tia wato le kene kumande ya foi ata momo ita banta o yela ti onati ya jurmeje.
If it is the time for the harvest of the groundnut, they will come and call out everyone to go out. Or if you stayed, they will go and bring your own share of the groundnut to where you are.
And these groundnuts, who did they belong to and who benefited from the harvest?
Jumale tamu tiolti amunta alkaudo ko ke menke onya alkake jumale tamu tio nyinti.
Kana ni moto ni pa mon parta yake boto ko ya sign the state house.
They used to put them in bags, and then the vehicle will bring them, when we are done, to the State House.
So apart from preparing your own meals, you were actually also working for Yaya Jammeh's benefit?
Amunda hana mankenyin dammanti puru alifangol le kala tabiroke. Amunda albe do ko lumen funal ke kan wonyal ba ke ka Yaya Jammeh.
Te kato ko Yaya Jammeh di.
Yes, we worked for Yaya Jammeh. That was why when we were told to go home, all of us were as if we were healed. No one asked any questions.
Because you were in a hurry to go. Did he pay for that labor?
Allah ta munta brika aliyesa albe hawjato tata kato lafta bola jele drum bari fodum ay fenne di Allah kali jo aliyo do ko men kate wonya.
Maybe those who are there, but I did not see anything.
You had earlier told us that the security forces were there to make sure that no one leaves. Did this continue? Were you allowed to leave at any point during the program?
Enen foko kantarlal tarta jele security yolu puru mo kana boje kafinti. Silandu fo wo lataro wuce kono o so a continue to wala nyama bangai buka song puru mo boje kata.
Continue wala nyama but biding atata family ta biding modori alonko biding ko you are undetectable. Mo jamal bidje wala yalonko mankende abay wal saitale.
It continued like that to the end. But after it took a long time, there was a time that some people were declared undetectable, but they knew that they were not well.
But still they decided to leave because they were frustrated anyway. Those
were not Gambians, people from Guinea-Bissau, Senegalese. They went home, but for those of us who are natives of this place, you know, we couldn't have gone anywhere.
Why is that the case?
But for us, the soldiers know us. But for the others, it's possible that they bribed the paramilitary.
And when were you eventually released?
Silang wati jumale nata soto ya telbula watu meng.
I think it was the naming ceremony of Mohammed Jammeh.
Who is Mohammed Jammeh?
Walo Mohammed Jammeh.
Yeah, Jammeh's son.
All right. So your release coincided with the naming ceremony of Mohammed Jammeh. Is that what you're saying?
Amunda selebe fokanko ila telubulo uni Mohammed Jammeh la kulliyo le kanyanda.
Yes, it was shortly after the naming ceremony. They decided to bring an ashobi, which Auntie Nima brought for all of us.
Please tell us what happened.
So when they call your name, they will tell you now you are cured. And they said that they were going to host a party for us at Kanilai. But I did not wait for that party myself.
So this was the passing out ceremony.
Yes.
And from what you have said, because of the number of people that had died and those who had been driven away, it was not the same number that came in that actually passed out, right?
Amunta koya fanyamin dolu menia lonko aye bay anin dolu menia lonko sasaye batandije aye nya kasila ila mul nate kamma anin atelu menia lonka labanta je na talibula amunta molu manjanjanje nyola.
Yes.
We actually have a video of that passing out ceremony, and we would like to play that video again. I must give out the warning for the crew in here, the camera crew, not to televise the video or actually show the sound.
Our video bijang me ya lonko le keta wo janjal lumoti lumen albula kali janjandi prali esai bari a video nyanga laftanyin kibaro dila kibar talal nin camera tiol la menu bijang video nyin anen akuma kango mo kana fintindi jang hani kalimo mo kana fintindi nyimbunko no katu kullolem.
Okay. We would like you, Madam Witness, just to identify yourself and perhaps those that you know with the assistance of PSS.
Sai mbelafila sedo isa jube niye fango jeje ni video kono isa itandiko ite fango lo munyinti bitu membe dala je menke makoy wala makoy ro kan obe makoy no lale pour yewoke pour ka jube niye fango je pour isa itandi mol.
Okay.
Counsel,
PSS, when-
Counsel, you're not asking the witness to identify herself, but just to recognize herself.
I was going to ask her to do so for the commission. You know the video is not actually going public.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Witness. We showed a short video where you were able to identify your passing out ceremony. Is that correct?
Inumbara bake sedo nganyi video sutu jube puru isaita ndina non fo ifanga fana mabeta nyimbengotole.
Can you confirm, please?
Satonya yandi banko mabeta jele fo mabe ila microphone mala.
Mabetale.
I was present.
Can you tell us what was said during that passing out ceremony to you?
Afanye o janjandiro be kala lumme yemune fem kuma fo aliye iteye.
In relation to the HIV treatment that you had undergone for the past 6 months.
Mentilinta ila o jara rola nying HIV jankar kesolo purke jara men ya lonko aliye kari woro ka ko laje.
Undetectable.
That we were cured and that we were undetectable.
Do you know what that meant, undetectable?
Foyo kotolo ne ka fo undetectable.
Said that we were cured, no.
That you had been cured of the AIDS virus.
Amunda wala nyinti nyin jankaro ala sasa nyinga akenda yatale.
Yes.
And that was not only said to you, but to all the other participants who passed out on that day.
Munta imam foyete dammayede menu be jara rola wulu menu be saita wulu munta yokuma kilimolo folu be.
Yes.
And was this the case? Was it the case that you had indeed been cured of AIDS at that point?
Andun tonya fodun we atalete kende ataba ni mulu menu be janjanta je wulu al kende atale ba.
Oh, momo be kolonto improve size wo kono do.
I told you, everyone was hurrying to get back home.
Because everybody was in a hurry to go home. Even going to Kanilai, I said, no, I am going home because everybody was in a hurry to leave that place. Some went to Kanilai.
Had you been cured or not? I just wanted you to confirm that.
niara mboto nje sitata watra sa moniel tanale.
If I told the way that I left that place, I was just sitting down like that, I would have not been alive today.
Birin satan and sasa telefo.
Because when I came home, I got so sick,
Muta loptano.
I returned back to the hospital.
Tumolong lota AR vital.
Then I started taking the ARV.
And what is the ARV?
ARV do wo mum borleti.
Ina mboro de meyalon ko aka HIV nya kala sembo jindi.
This is the medicine which reduces the power of the HIV.
And is that the antiretroviral drugs?
Amunta wolem ikafame antiretroviral drugs ARV. Amunta wolem mo boroti.
Ah wala.
That is it.
So indeed it had been confirmed at the hospital that you still had the HIV virus and you had not been cured.
Amunta bre muruta lopitano to inata tonya yandiko. Ni aje be yin borolu dile la iman kende ya jankaro nyin hanim dia belal.
Ah tonyalo.
That is true.
And the ARV drugs, were you taking them before you started Jammeh's treatment?
Yin ARV borolu ibe min kanne num bang janne jammela wo jararo damuta.
Ani.
No.
Mam boro me for septrin.
At that time, I was not taking any other medicine except Septrin.
So was antiretroviral drugs a stronger medication than Septrin?
Amunta yin ARV borolu antiretroviral borolu wala sembo warta septrin tunu wotumo.
Yes.
So which means that you came out in a worse condition than you went in?
Amunta woto sai ite be fintila tumo me wato lem ila sasa nyin jawyata katambi wato la ibe dunna je tumo me.
Otomelembe dunkan dakan loptan romo no viral roto seleta bakel.
That time that I was going to the hospital, my viral load was high.
Which means that you were healthy.
Wala munyinti ko foloto no tumo ibe kende ari nenu.
Utumo kambe mankende ko na viral roto senketa wata labata bakisa.
That time I was not well. That time I was weak.
That's the time when she returned to the hospital.
All right, okay. That was after Yaya Jammeh's treatment.
Yaya Jammeh jararo kolaleti.
Yes.
You were in a worse condition.
Amunda utumulong sasa nyimfong jawyata.
Yes.
Can you tell us what impact, if any, this whole treatment has had on your life, especially in relation to the time frame which you spent at the hospital? Initially, you told us that you were told it would take 2 weeks to cure you, and you ended up spending 6 months there. What was the impact on your home of that?
Nying ko nying ay muno ko sabu ma amumebe ila hadamayat wairi albedu na jara roko to mumena nyina fali loptano roko lokum fula wichew albole kala je albe kende ala bari silan alnata duma kono alnata munakije kari woro albe jaral kirwala je so silan wobe ko la anali membe takije anata mune sabu itema ila hadamayato ila soko
Hadamayato bata anisai komo
Suffering and retardation.
Because
when I went for the treatment, by the time I returned, the owner of the compound, that is the landlord, evicted us. The landlord said to my husband, behold, your wife is positive, and you are quiet about it, and you are sitting inside my house. My children were dispersed. When I returned, I encountered a lot of hardship. Each time I look for a new accommodation, we will stay there only for a short while. And then I will have a problem and I will be evicted.
Because
you know, here in Combo, once you are not in your own personal compound and are living in people's compound, no matter how sick you are, when the month ends, they will not excuse you on the basis of your sickness. What you could say is that you will not cook your own food, but you cannot say that you will not pay the rent. Up till date, that is the situation that I find myself in.
And what about your children? Was there any particular impact apart from being evicted from the house? Was there any impact on their education, for example?
Ila dinulu yamenu janjandi wonya ay mun kule sabulu ma misal kama bila karango anin ila balunya ay mun mantorale sabulu ma
dinnu bata tale fo la karango beti nyata dindi flo ke ba na bele karango e karango bulale.
The children suffered a lot to the extent that they could not pursue their education anymore. In fact, the older child had to drop out of school. The younger ones, the two of them that are with me, are the ones that are now going to school.
They are the children I am now having. My younger sister also passed away, and her children are also left with me. Now, apart from my children, I have my younger sister's children too, who passed away. I have 5 children now, whom I am taking care of.
How did the treatment affect your source of income?
Without
mentioning what exactly it is that you do.
Bari ikam soto ke ko mento no ila soto aya kenyadile.
Well, today what I was able to do yesterday, I am not able to do it today. There are some types of work which, if I want to force myself to do them, just after 1 week, if you look at me, you will see that I am sickly. Up till now, I do petty trading here and there.
Is there any other thing you would like to tell us, like perhaps what stigma you have suffered as a result of your disease?
Fo kudo bije lebela fila kama mfanya misali kama tesiro moluke chodi ka fo betenne fo ufana mukuliti menkete la bang.
Ila no sai ibe kende ari ila badon made time to the second one isa ila badon time to the mome yalon ko isa tata imela dingo hati. Yalo itano la ya fo ko mako teninte.
Well, you know now, even when you are sick, your relatives don't even care about you, much more when you are ill. And in fact, people who have not assisted your children while you are sick, you will not find it easy to go back to the same people and ask them for assistance. This is the way things are.
Are you saying that you're not able to get support even from your own family because of the stigma that is attached to your disease?
Amonta be yino fokanko hani fango badingulu imampare imako ila kafo katu yete siro mentilila fo abewo nyale ba walanna imam mako soto fango badingulu bulu.
I see no one there who will help me.
Do you get any other support from any support groups or organizations?
Fo ibuka mako soto kafu bulu wala karawo karala meni alonko isimako iro dino itela.
No, except the group that I am in, Santa Yala, and I have not gotten any support from it yet.
Provide any psychosocial support, for example?
Misali kam ye kafo ke makoi ke sondomo ka diamu ye diamolu meni alonko isi silo limfero litanila ke yamari fo ndung hanimbi ibukaw fananke yebang.
Ante yale ni lafta yata ma dobi ni tiji ta so ko na hakilo ka fenkele wato bi je nka wulten don wato mena sante yale be keka mon kata je mitinola nkata je ni sita je hakilo si siri wala fi sata itara siri na so ko ndo be mirala.
Yes, at the time when Santayala was operational, we used to go there for meetings, and it is better to go there because when you go there, your mind is at ease. It's much better than you sitting in your house and keep thinking to yourself.
Apart from that, did you receive any kind of material assistance through Santayala from any other organizations?
Ube kola fodum Santayala nene mako irdile le bang men seke fenti si menchi kaya dila wala kafukota ngulumeni yalong ko bekeri.
No.
Thank you very much, Madam Witness. If you don't have anything else to say, this would be the end of your testimony, and I will hand it over to the chairman now, who may want to ask the commissioners to ask you any questions.
Inumbara bake sedo atila nyinin karo abadan na jani natra misal kama kumate sondo mo kuno bela fla me yitanila sayin abe ko sawndila ka di siranti wala anin commissionalu fo mo sitawul kuno membe la fla nyinin kala.
You will also be given an opportunity for any final remarks you may have at the end.
Alu be botala ibe silo dile fananale pour ni lafte la kumo kumfala kuma kan na membe sondo mo kuno fanansi kumo lufo.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. That's the end of the testimony for the witness.
Thank you very much, Counsel, and thank you, Madam Witness, for your testimony.
Chairman, ako ay council numbara wokola abete fon fanan numbara la ite sedo pour ye wakilo menta kana sede yaro la jang.
On behalf of the Commission, I'm truly sorry you had to endure such massive abuse of your human rights during the JAME treatment period.
Commission toyala abe hakedani la ye haketu idunta ni montoro menkono me ya lonko president kata kajara role ke inatana dum montora kono je me ya lonko me yilama akabe bituma be danila ye haketu umukuleti me ya lonko akete montora bati.
Every human right abuse and violation one can imagine occurred during that period.
Mosi miraro kenyonya din hadamaya nyanta tinya afaso wo faso kamodoya afaso wo faso ketale wo wiche nyinkono atel dunta menkono.
We thank you very much for coming to testify.
Ko to be numbara la ye wakilo menta pour kana sede yaro la jang.
Commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate. Commissioner Kinte, please.
Commissioner Kinte, wale lafte nyinin kala.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Benna ni ko aitan la bake ekole ko men soto ine moñolu jara lokon.
I want to express my displeasure for the hardships that you encountered, you and your colleagues, during the course of the treatment.
Fenkilim ponye ko ina manambo jaral dula fa yatara yeke bay albesu men kono yatara saunda dula do.
You said one thing here, that before you left the treatment center, you found that your husband was evicted from the house that you lived with. And from that time up to now, you are constantly relocating from one place to the other. You have your own children with you. Apart from the 2 children that you have, there are other children that are under your custody.
Lafta menyin kala wala mu fo ike madung ani abejele hani bibang ani mfo fanam a tekatara munela pour que bulu fasa fondu ike teje akole abe warale ngo nyamal.
I want to ask about your husband, whether he is still around and what is he up to. Is he able to assist you, or is his absence the reason why you are encountering this much trouble?
My
husband is not very well. I am the one that works out things. And a woman, it gets to a stage whereby when you have a family with a man, sickness should not be the cause of your separation. So what you are saying is that your husband is sick and that load is coupled with the hardships that you are already undergoing. That is what is on the ground. May God bless us all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. Madam Witness, did I hear you right? That after the massage
Ni ali nyabu fuka pare.
You were in that state for 3 months without taking bath.
Altarta wole nyama atata fo kari saba alimeku.
Bukeku safuno bukeku namange masajore ka fo ko bukeku ikajo male bari safuno bukeku lolo ikana dro yewo momenke ku lolo safuno san ya fo kalsaba kanu kan safuno ma yalo mo manko.
You used to bath and also take the massage, but what they said was that nobody should bath with a soap, and this becomes difficult for someone who was used to bathing with a soap.
Thank you very much. If there are no other questions, Madam Witness, if you have any final remarks to make, please proceed to make them now.
Silang Commissioner Lumang Kumasoro be nyinin kala menna. Sayin sedo ite fango fanang ne kumasoro ilafte la kacha kumfala menna. Ifte finansio itandi mulu la komisono to jansai.
I just want to reveal my condition to you. Just as you have heard. What you used to do before, you are unable to do so. Today you are just sitting down, doing nothing. If this was in the provinces, you could possibly get engaged in farming. But here in the Combos, everyone goes to the market. That is my problem.
Thank you very much, Madam Witness, and thanks again for coming to testify before the Commission.
Chairman ko inumbara bake sedo inumbara kotake isonta purkana sede yaro la commission nyati limula.
We will now take a lunch break and then come back at 2:30.
Sai mbita dahala.
No, we're coming back in a different situation. Yeah. Fine. We'll take a 1 hour break and we will see you shortly. After that. Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned for the lunch break.